Yeah, so when you agreed to come on, I put
Yeah,
a picture of you on my story and said who you
yeah,
was and stuff. People have
yeah,
requested Getaway, blah blah blah. Send some questions in, but the problem that I've got, and it was the same with Ricky, same with Paul,
yeah.
is every question is there going to be a new Getaway? Is it going to be
Ah,
remade? So what I done is I filtered
yeah,
through it and chose three of the best ones that wasn't them questions, which left me with
yeah,
about eight. So I chose the
yeah,
best three ones. If you're happy to answer them, there's only three.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first one is: do you have any similar traits to Yasmin in real life? Wait, you've come dressed as her today.
Yeah, absolutely. In my Black Ops. Um, so yeah, I think I did identify with the Yasmin character right from the moment, like I said, that I read through the script. Um, she's a strong woman. Um, she's, she's confident around men. She's able to get what she wants. Um, and and I love that about her as well. I love the power in her character. Um, I also think that there's quite a vulnerable side to Yasmin that that is there. Um, but obviously she puts this like brave, strong character face on it. Um, but there are points I know when I was working on the character where I really felt there was stuff. There was an emotional side to her. There was actually the feelings that she tried to hide so much. Um, and I feel like that's the same in real life. It's the same with um, all these hard gangsters that actually, the softness is inside. It's just on the outside. It's easier sometimes, isn't it, to show this character rather than show the one that's inside. And yeah, I loved her character. I really did. I'd love to play
Yeah,
it again. Mm,
yeah, maybe one day, maybe one day.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Next one. What's your favorite memory from working on the Getaway? You probably got hundreds.
I have. I've got loads. Um, so I think it was one of the funniest was when we were all in on set and we'd turned up and we're all sat round having breakfast and we were about to do the motion capture for the day. And one of the characters wasn't in, and he was one of the guys that um he was an actor. He trained as an actor, but he was before that he was a fighter, and he was yeah, he was kind of like a real life gangster. And some of the chat over lunch, they all knew these different gangsters around London, and the chat about who'd been shot, who'd been, what had been going on with so and so and this, that, and the other. And you'd sit there and think, oh my God. But I think, yeah, there was one day when Goldie didn't come in to rehearsals, and it was really unlike him. Everyone was there on time because we knew that if you weren't in on time, it was going to affect all the other actors and production staff. So it was strange that he wasn't in. And then we got a phone call from him, or Brendan got a phone call from him saying, "I'm really sorry. Um, I've been stuck in a police cell." And we're all like, oh my God. He said, I'm going to try and get in as quick as I can. And he got in by lunchtime. And so the story was that he had got on the tube to come in for rehearsals, and he'd witnessed, and this, like, Goldie was massive, big hunk of a bloke, um, with, like I said, fight training. And he'd witnessed an old lady's handbag being stolen on the tube. So he'd just got up and swung a kick round and actually broken the guy's shoulder, nearly taken his head off with his foot. Um, so obviously the police had been called. He was arrested, um, but he got the lady's handbag back and gave it to her. But it was just typical of the kind of real life drama that went on set all the time. It was a bit crazy. Um, but I loved it. I loved doing shoots with all the boys. I couldn't have felt safer. It was brilliant. When we were traveling together, I think I was the only one that didn't get pulled over and get my bag searched, you know, because we just there were all these big, beefy, strong blokes um, going through an airport when we were going to do press stuff abroad, and um, I'd get let through, and then they'd all be stopped, every single one of them. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. It's weird that they would arrest him for that, though. You'd think they'd turn a blind eye, wouldn't you?
Well, in an ideal world, yes, um, but I think, yeah, I think he did quite a bit of damage. So,
Yeah.
but the old lady was happy; she got her handbag back. So, but yeah, it was definitely a better excuse for being late than, you know, I had to drop the kids at school or I had to walk the dog first. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good